Hello to all my day drinkers out there, I'm MartiniPictures, and welcome back to Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. As you may notice, I have switched my mic. It's because, I broke my XLR cable on my other mic, so I'm back to this one. I don't know how I broke the XLR cable, but I'll just have to live with it. Let's go here first and meet with Cordelia to get our reward, if I remember correctly. And another gun. The GSR 3R.
What is your decision?
10,000. Listen, my dude, you are getting more and more expensive.
Looks like that section's been a new potential out of the engineers.
Good.
Okay, you've earned clearance for a new order.
All units evade. This order raises all allies' evasion skills. Cool. And now I can purchase this. At least I know now where my troops are at.
Hey, Lieutenant! Off duty today?
I guess.
Your timing's perfect. There's something I want to show you. Won't take but a minute. Come on.
Alright.
Ta-da! It's the writing on the wall. Written and published by yours truly.
I probably should have done this a while ago, but oh well.
Why do this when I already have a radio news gig, you say? Sure, I could leave it up to the print news guys, but they're all lapdogs. The government censors everything. And not just a little cut here and there. In some cases, they'll bend the harsh truth into candy-sweet propaganda. I'm so sick of it. I want to give my readers the truth. That includes the bad stuff, too. So, this is my brilliant plan. The writing on the wall. Some things are only possible in out-of-the-way spots like this. Out of sight from those government goons. I'll keep this space filled with up-to-date, absolutely factual info. No censorship. And your exploits will feature heavily, I'm sure. So yeah, come by and have a read sometime.
Holy shit, apparently I've missed a lot.
And while you're here,
Hmm?
I want to put a book out someday, right? To put the truth in the hands of the people. But I'm just a radio news grunt, you know? I'll be paying for everything out of my own pocket. So, I figured I'd ask you. Think you could find it in your wallet's heart to help a girl get started? I'd make it worth your while. You guys could feature in the book I write. I still haven't decided what all I want to put in it, but I promise it'll be all about you. See this fat stack of notes? Got a ton of material already. So how about it? Call it an investment in the future rising star of authordom. Please.
I'm not entirely sure what these are about. I'll guess we'll go with the cheapest for now. That piece is on the members of Squad 7.
Thanks a million. I plan on putting out new editions periodically, so drop by to check it out often. Especially after you've made some headlines on the battlefield. That's the perfect time to strike. I'm counting on you out there, Welkin. You need to keep me supplied with exciting material.
Yeah, armor upgrade, 7,600. Yeah, that's fine. And then the uniform upgrade, 7,000 here. Grenades, nothing. I'm gonna hold off on this for now. Nothing for the Shamrock. I may as well get a rotating periscope for now. I'll just skip the other one entirely. I also have an enhanced block pin. Oh my god. When did I unlock the Edelweiss 2? Oh, what the hell? Let's get the rear magazine going just because I can now. Spare tread, drive system, and then a carbon coat plate, I guess. And I mean, so long as I can, I'll get both upgrades here. And then later I can upgrade the machine gun. Oh boy. Yeah, I can have another steel alloy plate.
Report. Ellet embedded.
Let's see. Report Ellet embedded. Let the interviews begin. I should have done this all the way back when.
First impression, good. Lieutenant Welkin Gunther, squad leader. Next in command, Sergeant Alicia Melchiot. That lieutenant looks softer than I'd expect for the son of the late General Gunther. And her hometown is Brule, same as Gunther. Could be childhood friends. But if I'm lucky, they were childhood sweethearts. We'll just have to find out how close they are. Next on the list, Sergeant Largo Potter and Corporal Bridget Stark. Oh wait, that's right. Stark had a nickname. Gotta jot that down. Goes by Rosie. There. Looks like those two don't trust Gunther much yet. That could be good. Could be really good. Who does that leave? Right, the tank pilot, Corporal Isara Gunther.
Yeah, I definitely should have done this a while ago.
She's the lieutenant's sister. Now that's strange. She looks dark-skinned to me. Wonder how that comes into the picture. You couldn't ask for a more colorful crew than that, could you? Something tells me these guys are different than the usual troop somehow. Maybe my keen journalistic instincts? Well then... The truth's not gonna uncover itself. Here I come, ready or not.
Largo and Rosie.
Oh, there's Sergeant Potter, and Corporal Stark with him. Hey, guys! Mind if I ask a few questions? It'll only take a second.
What? Like an interview? What do you want to go interviewing us for?
Aw, come on, big guy. I bet we'd make better topics than some rich kid.
Wonderful. Let's start with you then, Largo. You fought in the First European War, right?
Yeah, I've been a soldier ever since, too. I'm what you'd call a seasoned warrior, see?
And why did you choose to stay in the force? Most people try to avoid the soldiering life.
It's an honest living, plus I got my reasons. Besides, I ain't the only one. Look at Elle.
Elle? Who's Elle?
If I had to guess, I'd say Eleanor Virat. Captain Virat, that is. 3rd Regiment. It seems you've got quite a history with her. Care to fill in some details for us?
There ain't no details. Is this the trash you want to write about? Look, I'm a busy guy. I'm out of here.
Hey, Largo, wait up!
Oh, just let him go. We can have a little chat, just the two of us girls. So, Rosie. Can I call you Rosie? Beautiful name, by the way. Do you like flowers?
I used to sing at a bar. It was hardly a flower patch, but my nickname there stuck. Tell you what, though. Some customers came from miles away just to hear me sing.
My. So why's a pretty young songbird with a voice as sweet as a rose so... thorny towards Lieutenant Gunther and all those others?
Ooh.
Just ain't trusting my back to a stinking dark hair is all.
We gotta remember this is in the past.
Traumatic past experience with a darkson leave you bitter, maybe?
Think what you want. I got better things to do than sit around gabbing about him is all. You can put me down as allergic, yeah? Just chatting and I'm starting to feel sick.
Bet she'd spill the beans if you got her riled up enough. Maybe next time. Still, a veteran carrying a torch for his captain and a darkson-hating chanteuse? They may be cranky, but they're characters.
Episode 3 of the first report, Isara. Damn, I wish I had watched these before.
Boo!
Oh, hello, Miss Ellett. How are you?
A little freaked out now. You didn't even bat an eye at that. We're staring at the sky pretty intently. Something up there we should know about?
I'd like to fly.
So, this was supposed to be foreshadowing, but it's, after foreshadowing?
Well, actually, I'd like to fly my brother.
Fly your brother? Care to expound on that? You don't seem the type to have her head in the clouds. It's very romantic.
I believe myself to be quite logical, really. Too logical, perhaps.
Okay, so if you don't mind my asking, how exactly are you and your brother related? Wait, let's leave that for now. How would you describe your brother as a person?
Welks is, objectively speaking, he can seem a little strange sometimes.
I see. Although I'm a little unsure of what that means, coming from you.
But he is a very kind person, and loyal. Anytime my heritage brought me trouble, he was the first to come to my defense.
I see. Sounds like you really love him, huh?
I would say I respect him a great deal.
Gotcha. Sounds like you lucked out in the sibling department then.
Yes, very much so. That's why I'd like to give him the opportunity to fly.
I'm still not sure I follow that exactly, but we'll leave that for another day. Thanks for your time. Next up, squad leader Gunther himself.
And now we'll watch Welkin and Alicia, and I'll probably get the other 2 reports as well, except for that really expensive one.
Hello, hello! Are you ready for your big interview?
Hello, Miss Ellett. Hard at work again, I see.
Didn't you already interview him before?
Oh, Alicia, I wanted to get in a chat with you today, too.
Wait, really? You're going to write an article about me?
She really changed her tune about that.
I can't say whether it'll make the paper, but I do have some questions for you. You've been at Lieutenant Gunther's side since you left Brule. Tell me what he's like.
Wait a minute. You want to interview me about him? Well, let's see. We only met just a few days ago, but he's a pretty interesting person. You never know what he's going to say next.
I see, I see. So, forget he's your boss for a second. What do you think of him as a guy?
What? I've never really thought about it. I don't know.
Is that so? Well, Lieutenant Gunther, care to comment in her place? Lieutenant, where'd he go?
Huh? Oh, sorry. There was just this crazy-looking bug. I got distracted.
See what I mean? He's an interesting guy, if unpredictable.
No kidding. Now, Lieutenant Gunther, I have a couple of questions for you. First up, how do you feel about this war, as the son of a hero from the First European War?
Same as anybody else, I guess. I want it to be over. Are people looking at me as the son of a hero? Well, maybe I am, but I'm still just me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then, let's talk about you. What are you fighting for?
I feel like the present world is made up of things we've inherited from the past. We get life and a home from our parents, knowledge from our teachers. And not just the good stuff. Take prejudice against Darksons. That's learned behavior. Every creature out there is trying to pass things along to future generations. I want to pass on what I think is right. I'm fighting for the ability to do that.
Thank you very much. That's all I've got for you today.
Great. We're done? I want to get back to that fascinating insect again.
Huh. You really hit the nail on the head. He's as entertaining as he is unpredictable. I was planning on moving along to the next squad after interviewing everyone in Squad 7. I think I'll stick around and learn a bit more about you Sevens, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Just try to stay out of the combat zones, for your own safety.
I'm not making any promises. I go where the scoop takes me. That's just how I roll.
I'll go through these later. Yeah, 50,000, that'll have to come later. I'll buy these 2 for now. Largo's Passion is after Chapter 4, and A Taste of Home is after Chapter 5. So apparently I've been very behind.
Report. Largo's Passion.
Secure the trade route. Whatever. Depends on who you ask.
God, I'm starving. Why do they call us here at lunchtime?
Ugh, you always get snippy the minute your stomach rumbles, Largo.
Sorry, guys, have you been waiting long? I'll get right to the briefing. You may already be aware of the recent hike in food prices.
I do remember one worker at the mess hall mentioning that produce prices were rising.
Apparently the Empire has taken hold of the trade route farmers use to ship their stock.
What did you say?
Vegetable crisis grips Gallia. Not a very exciting headline.
You mocking the power of vegetables?
What? I was just... What's your problem?
Vegetables are like bombs packed tight with all kinds of important nutrients. Kids gotta eat them to grow up right, and the body's practically made of vegetables.
Which are like bombs?
In any case, Squad 7's next mission is to clear that trade route of Imperials.
All right, time to put the fear of veggies into these imps.
The fear of veggies? Is he serious?
Go into war for the vegetable route incident.
You will now be briefed on the operation.
Alright. This mission will be fought on the outskirts of Vastal, and enemy blockade has restricted traffic along this route. Fear of combat spilling over the civilian dwellings here prevents us from making this into a large-scale operation. You have to leave your tank on the sidelines and lead a small force of foot soldiers into the village. Your objective is to destroy the 2 tanks standing on by the road ahead. Great. Tanks. You're likely to face heavy fire from those tanks if you just march along the road. Okay, so I can't go up the right side, but I can go anywhere I want up the left. It may be the long way around, but you're better off heading through the village and securing a spot to attack safely. I'm afraid we can't spare a medic to accompany as a team as small as the one you'll be taking in. Wow. To compound things, this is a night op. You'll be dealing with less visibility than you're used to. There will be no sight line to targets more than a certain distance away, and you can't spot them in action mode. Consequently, if even one of your soldiers falls in combat, you'll pull out immediately. Mission failure. There's a lot of special conditions and requirements. Be extra careful as you plan each move out there. One final note, you won't have your tank's wireless set up, so you won't be able to issue orders using this mission. Got it. Victory, both enemy tanks are destroyed. Oh, that's easy. I thought it was like I have to take out the tanks and then like capture a base. It's just take out the tanks. That's fine. Failure, any ally falls in action. Welkin dies and 20 turns pass. Let's see. Position units. Who's here? It's Welkin and Largo. Largo immediately just has a position. I mean, I think Alicia would be good too. If not, I'll figure out another way.
All right, we're set to begin. Good luck.
The bastards blocking our veggies are here, ain't they? Let's bust some heads.
Shh, be quiet. You want them to hear us? This is a stealth operation with just a few soldiers. Lose anyone and the mission fails.
Yeah, I got it. Now let's go get violent for vegetables.
You want to work with me here, Largo?
I can end that there, and these guys are literally doing no damage to us. 2 shots. And then with Welkin's help, we'll be able to take him out. The hell? I'll end that. Goodbye. And with Welkin's help, this will be easier. End that. Not entirely sure what they're doing. Let's see if I can take him out using this.
You're done.
Shit. We'll aim again. And aim a little bit higher this time so it doesn't hit the wall. Yeah, there we go.
Don't even think of dodging.
Oh boy. And it'll just be a solid twofer. I can't just yet, because it'll be bad if I do. And then they have to give up right then and there. Come on, Largo, one shot! Are you serious? Come on, Largo, just one shot. Alright, we'll send in the grenade. Here. Damn. Alright, we'll end this here. They have to. And we'll aim it here. Bada bing, bada boom. We're done. Ba-da.
Operation complete. Both enemy tanks neutralized.
Ah, damn. I probably could have gotten a rank, another rank, or an A rank if I had gotten just one turn less. Like if I hadn't missed one of my two shots that I had with the turret or the tank the first time. Final episode of Largo's Passion, Largo's Dream. Vegetables.
That should end our vegetable shortage.
I ever tell you my old man's a farmer? Feels good to know I'm helping farm folk out. Growing up on the farm, I was always helping with the harvest, out there in the field. I'm serious when I say veggies are king, too. The more you eat, the healthier you get.
I agree. A lot of nutrients vegetables offer can't be found anywhere else. Plus, I feel like vegetables are a way to take in the power of nature as a whole.
Power of nature, huh?
Yeah. Plants grow by absorbing energy from the sun, the soil, even tiny microbes. Eating vegetables is like getting all that natural energy right from the source.
Never heard veggies told quite like that before. I tell you, boss, you got your head on right. You got my mark.
Thanks, Largo. That means a lot to me.
Hey, boss, let me tell you a stupid dream I have. My folks' old farm went under, but I want to start it up again as an organic veggie farm. Funny, huh? Big macho man goes from flinging bullets to being king of the carrot patch.
I'm not laughing. If you're dedicated, I'm sure you'll grow some fine vegetables.
Yeah.
Once you're all set up and harvesting, you'll have to let me sample what you've grown.
Boss, you'd be welcome to eat all you wanted, but you'd have to help with the harvest. And out on the farm, I'm squad leader. Be ready for the workout of your life.
Oh boy.
I'm feeling good today. Veggies for all.
Report. A taste of home.
Episode 1 of A Taste of Home, an unexpected visit. But from what, and from who, and from where?
And done. That takes care of the report. Who's there?
Ah, Hans.
Hans? Did you come here all by yourself? Boy, you sure are smart. Hey, stop tugging, Hans. What's up? Is there something this way? Okay, I get it. Lead the way. And you can stop biting my boots already.
Is there no one in the commons area? Oh.
Welcome for me? Nice going, Hans. Thanks.
I just got led around base by a pig. Any idea what he wants with me, Alicia?
Oh no, I was the one who wanted to see you. Are you hungry, Welkin?
Hungry? Well, yeah, actually.
Really? Oh, good. I whipped a little something up for you. Come see.
What? Back in the kitchen?
Oh, shit, I missed the... Whoa! Tea for 2.5. Oh, the pig.
Wow. I've never seen so much bread in one place. You baked all this yourself, Alicia?
Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I made anything. I was worried I might be getting a bit rusty. But the oven was free, so I helped myself.
It smells great. Okay, here goes.
Oh boy, that animation though. Open the jaw like an anaconda. Ah!
Welkin? You okay?
Delicious.
Really?
Yeah,
I would have had him choke on it instead.
it's really impressive.
Oh, these animations are just...
Welkin,
Oh.
you look like a chipmunk.
You know how chipmunks and hamsters stuff their little cheeks full of food like that? I finally understand why.
Oof. Oh, I never want to watch that again. Shit, I have to edit this. Damn it. Well, let's just finish off episode 3, Alicia's Ambition.
Ah, I'm so full. That was great, huh, Hans?
I can't believe you put it all away. It was a little scary watching you two eat. Still, I'm glad you liked it. It feels good to see people enjoying my bread.
It felt good eating it. Thanks for baking it all.
You're welcome. Oh, Welkin, you have some... There's just a little crumb. There we go.
Oh. So, you said you worked at a bakery before the war started?
Yeah. I was a live-in apprentice under the Meister running the shop. Once things settle down, I plan on taking the national exams and opening up my own bakery.
Wow. You need to be licensed to run a bakery? That sounds pretty tough.
It's been my dream since I was a little girl. It's what I enjoy doing the most. I love imagining entire families eating the bread I make together. A loving husband, maybe, and cute little kids waiting for their mom to get home. She comes in with a big basket of my bread, and the kids all cheer and embrace her.
Okay.
Alright, this is well deserved. Welkin needs to, like, wake up, because he does this tenfold to what Alicia's doing right now.
Oh, and what if my bread brings the husband and wife closer together? She could say, "Oh, honey, you have a crumb in your beard," and then she'd... Listen to me. That's just like what happened here a minute ago, Welkin, but
Are you alright, Alicia?
Huh? I'm fine. Anyway, I'll keep baking it if you keep eating it.
It's a deal. And thanks again.
And we'll save that there. And it's actually come to my attention that I've never actually, like, explored anything else. This might just be an exploration episode for me. Alright, so chapter select is easy, headquarters is easy, skirmishes. So these are all the important ones. Gotcha. Personnel. Hell, why not? Welkin. Lieutenant, age 22, son of the late EWI hero. Oh, the first European war hero, General Belgian Gunther, and leader of Squad 7. While attending university, his focus lay in animal sociology. In secondary militia education, he chose tank operation. At university, officer training. In addition, he earned credentials as tank commander, A lover of nature since childhood, his free time was spent observing animal and plant life near his home. He is credited with discovering 6 new insect species. Wow, that's actually kind of, like, big. He is peaceful by nature. He will not, however, hesitate to defend the ones he loves, such as his Darkson sister, who often faces harsh discrimination. Wait, I can change his outfit? Huh. Cool. What the hell? Okay. On to Alicia. Alicia Melchiot. Sergeant, age 19. Okay, so she's 3 years younger than, Welkin. It's weird. Squad 7 Scout. While a team captain in Brule... What? While as team captain in the Brule Town Watch, she also worked as a live-in apprentice at the local bakery. In light of her experience both from the Town Watch and her militia education, she was appointed as a non-commissioned officer posted to Squad 7. This is what she wore in the beginning. Okay, yeah, so she only has 2 compared to Welkin's 3. Let's check out Isara. Isara actually has quite a bit. Corporal, age 16. Squad 7 tank pilot. Daughter of the late Darkson engineer, Professor Thamer. Okay, so that's why all the, Lancers and the RPGs are named the Thamers after a certain point. She was adopted into the Gunther family as Welkin's sister. Taking to engineering in her father's footsteps, she elected a mechanic's path in secondary military education, earning several credentials before enlisting. The consistent prejudice she faced since childhood due to her Darkson blood has fostered not bitterness, but respect for her brother who always stood up for her. A natural tinkerer, her hobbies include collecting tools. The wrench set Welkin sent to celebrate her entrance into high school remains particularly dear to her, though the operation cost her life. Squad 7 survivors report Isara's actions up to and following the Marbury mission as a powerful boost to squad solidarity. See, what was she wearing in the beginning? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's cool. Faldio. Lieutenant, age 23, tank commander and leader of Squad 1. An archaeology student at the same university as Welkin. His knowledge in history is considerable. His secondary and university military education earned him an officer's rank and credentials as a tank commander. He is often trained as a staff He's also trained as a staff officer. Born as a Randgriser, he personified Blythe, I really don't know, charm, and gregarious warmth. In Welkin's words, every girl on campus knew him by name and reputation. His strong opinions concerning fashion led him to submit a redesign idea for the Gallian militia uniform. It was rejected for being impossibly florid. Okay, so he's only got the 2. Alright. Captain Virat. 3rd Regiment Captain and direct superior to Welkin. She is one of the most feared yet respected officers in the Gallian military. Age 35, unmarried, drafted during the East European First War. She joined Gallia's militia as a sniper. Wow, well, that's cool. Electing to remain in the military after the war's end, her worth ethic quickly saw her promoted an avid reader. Her private An avid reader, her private quarters are a sea of books ranging from economic treatises? Treatises? To children's literature. One local bookshop owes her its livelihood. Wow. Let's see what she has. Huh. And then the award one. What was this outfit? I don't remember this outfit. Either way, she looks pissed. Largo. Sergeant, age 36, Squad 7 Lancer. Since his initial conscription during the First European War, he has survived countless missions, making him the most experienced of the Sevens, believing that the frontline experience is everything. He's consistently rejected all offers of promotion and continued his career as a foot soldier. Wow. Reprimanded for his unlicensed planting of vegetables on army property, though the fruits of his labor earned accolades from foodies across the base. Rosie. Corporal, age 27, Squad 7 shock trooper, formerly a bartender and songstress. She still bears the nickname Rosie given to her by the bar-going regulars, despite her education and with it her military training ending at a middle school level. Huh. Wow. It's interesting. Experience with her town watch earned her the rank of corporal. Her hobbies include cards, which she picked up while working at her bar job. She often played Folio, winning 10 games to his 5. Huh. I don't know what this position is supposed to be for her. Like, it's like super action-oriented. And this is the only outfit for her. I didn't even check. Did Largo have a second one? No, he didn't. Okay, so after a certain point, I guess they don't. Alright, Xhaka. And they pronounced it weird in this, I know. Sergeant, age 33, he joined Squad 7 as a tank commander in charge of the Shamrock following a militia's liberation of Thousand. Born the son of a poor family of Darkson laborers, he worked in a Thousand factory from a young age, picking up a broad knowledge of machines and weaponry. Yeah, and this was his Darkson outfit. Kreese. Private, first class, age 20. A mechanic working in the militia's R&D facility, his primary responsibilities included weapons maintenance and repairs. Called to enlist while working a factory job in his hometown after middle school, he was initially so homesick he reports once attempting to go AWOL to return. Wow. The owner of a legendary sweet tooth, he adds 3 heaping tablespoons of sugar to his hot milk. Huh. Co-workers say he keeps chocolate hidden on him at all times. After he saw his death, he requested to be posted to Squad 7, where, newly appointed to the rank of corporal, he followed in her footsteps as the Edelweiss's pilot. Huh. His design kind of reminds me of Radar from the show MASH. Great show, by the way. But it's kind of what he reminds me, like, just like his design. What was his other outfit? Ah, just main soldier. Gotcha. Leon. Private first class, age 20, a member of the militia's R&D team. Excuse me. His chief task lay in the development of new weapons. Despite entering a secondary tech school with promising grades, his freewheeling nature soon prompted him to withdraw and wander Gallia until the war broke out. His insistence on testing everything he developed resulted in quality work and one instance of him accidentally driving a tank full bore into a civilian home. Shit. Hans. Male Porcavian, age 1. A special member of Squad 7 following a chance meeting in the Cloden Wildwood. His rank is private, third class according to Alicia. Though small for a Porcavian, he boasts impressive agility and jumping ability. He also appears to be intelligent enough to understand human words and emotions. Huh. Cordelia. Current heiress of the Rangries line of archdukes who rule the nation. At the age of 16, she stands as figurehead of Gallia and Scion of the Valkyria. The death of her parents, the former Archduke and Duchess of Gallia, left her heiress of the throne, though her young age has precluded her coronation as of yet. So she's 16? Damn. I did not expect that unicorn horn to be that long. Wow. PM Borg. Who's that? PM Borg. Oh, this guy. Marquis, head of House Borg and Prime Minister of Gallia, age 68. He currently acts as regent to the young Princess Cordelia, handling affairs in her stead. As heir to a noble house with roots back to medieval times, Borg long played an active role in politics, often clashing with the Archduke's progressive views. General Damon. General, age 54, born into a family with a long history of military service, he now commands the general Gallian force, including the militia. He rose to his post as commander thanks to Borg's recommendation. Exceptionally proud of his noble birth, he considers the commoner militiamen disposable. Damn it. Wow. I hate you. I hate you a lot. Though the success of his grandfather as a general helped him rise through the ranks with uncommon speed, rumors abound that he lacks the requisite competence. Martha. Huh. Oh, that. Oh, yeah, this lady. Age 38, nanny to the Gunther family, like her mother before her. She helped raise Welkin and Isara since birth, as well as 5 of her own children. Wow. A presence in the Gunther house since herself was a child, Martha became a surrogate parent and resource of assurance to the orphaned Welkin and Isara. Martha's baby. Ugly little thing, so I'm gonna be putting you here so I can't see you. Martha's son, born inside the Edelweiss on the day Brule fell to the Empire. He is Martha's 5th child. Drill instructor. Huh. Sergeant, age 48, drill chief instructor. Wait, did I just say drill chief? Chief drill instructor as a militia in training grounds. His stern countenance and harsh words haunt the dreams of the soldiers near and far. Aged gentleman. Yeah, the guy that I get all my commands from. Age 52, a frequent visitor to the graves of his fallen first East European comrades. This doleful gentleman has begun passing his learned orders down to Welkin. Belgen. No image. Belgen Gunther. Oh, this is the father. Yeah, Welkin's late father, widely regarded as a great hero for his contributions to preserving Gallia's independence during the First European War. His friendship with the Professor Thamer was supposedly so close that even the typically taciturn Gunther talked up a storm when the two were together. He left the military to return to Brule after the war. There he lived out his days surrounded by family and nature until disease quietly claimed his life. Thamer. Isara's biological father and a gifted Darkson inventor who contributed much to the furthering Gallian technology. He built the Edelweiss for his friend after the First East European War. Though the owner of an uncommon talent and author of several brilliant theses, his Darkson heritage prevented him from working at a major industrial firm. Or many firms, at that matter. He continued to innovate after the war's end, and a sudden accident claimed his life, leaving his infant daughter Isara behind him. Wonder what the accident was. I don't remember if it was mentioned. Alex. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 17. His leap before you look brashness and flighty carefree nature has earned him the name Bird amongst his friends in the squad. Bird, huh. Interesting. A fan of any spot with a clear view. I'm sorry, I have no idea where this is coming from. He was known for dropping everything to climb tall trees he came across. Okay, so that would explain more of the nickname. Vice's tales of the sky always captivated him. And yet, I still don't know what this orange streak in his hair is about. Kevin. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 25, skittish and introverted. He found interactions with others difficult. He seemed rather uncomfortable with his role as shock trooper. Kobe. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 65, a foreman for the carpentry company before he joined the militia. His bad back is the result of an injury suffered during the First European War. Gotcha. Salinas. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 24, handsome and smooth. He was always popular with the ladies. A bit of a Lothario, he has made many beautiful women cry. Hans. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 31, born in a richly wooded part of the southern Gallia. He enlisted immediately upon hearing his hometown was in the path of danger. Having grown up self-sufficient, he is strong in both body and spirit. Unused to wearing hot, heavy gear, he prefers to walk around barefoot and shirtless. Huh. Interesting. Micah. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 26, a warrior. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 26, a warrior and a perfectionist. He lets even minor details get to him, making him tiresome company, but a skilled mechanist. Mechanist? Something. Vice. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 17. Together with Ica, he roams the globe seeking adventure. Rumor has it that he hails from a nation far removed from Europa's shores. Bleak circumstances only excite him all the more. And luckily, he has an iron will to keep him safe. Once he starts talking about the sky, he does not stop. Wendy. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 25, tinkering with explosives filled this shut-in's days until an overly ambitious portion of gunpowder blew her nose to bits. Oh, house, not nose. I was looking back over the character, I'm like, her nose is fine. She applied to be a trooper on the front lines as a way of testing out her bombs. Her squad mates whisper that she keeps a miniature bomb under her cap. Edie, I forget how to pronounce her name. Edie? Squad 7 shock trooper, age 17, as a self-proclaimed actress growing up in a tiny rural town, she was quite the starlet. Though proud, she lacks coping skills. I almost said copying. Aisha, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 12, she earned secondary militia training credit at a record age and was permitted to enlist after expressing a strong will to fight. All these people are so young. Squad 7 shock trooper, age 27, a florist in Brule until the Imperial invasion destroyed her shop. Ever since, she has fostered a deep hatred for the Empire. Dorothy, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 18, her family ran an ironworks factory in Fouzen. She dreams of designing accessories made of precious metals. Nina, Squad 7 Shock Trooper, age 29. I almost said 2019. Her belief that a sound body saves lives motivates her to train her physique daily. In 9 years, she hasn't missed a day's workout. Cool. Hermes. Squad 7 Scout. So this is the first of the Scouts. Good. Age 25. As a child of the open field, he dislikes cramped spaces. Slender and handsome, he is physically unable to not chat up any nearby ladies. Prone to exhaustion, he lacks endurance. Though he has no trouble finding dates, he's often too tired to stay out long, leading the ladies to find him a flake. Melville. Squad 7 Scout, age 19. Full of more pep than even he knew what to do with. He is quick to befriend pretty much anyone. A lover of all types of meat, Porvorkians hold a particular fascination for him. Porcavians. Wow. I really cannot say Porvakians or Porcavians right on the first try. I always have to look back at it. A close friend of Ted's, the two often practice their clown routines together. Okay. So that explains why he's a little bit of a chatty Cathy. That explains a little bit more than just him being talkative. Ted. Squad 7 Scout, age 16. A great love has always made him... Wait. His greatest love was always making others laugh, and his clowning persisted after enlistment. He is highly allergic to most metals. Huh. It was Ted, yeah. So Ted and Melville are the clowns. Why aren't there any more? Oh, that's right. I press R1 and L1 to turn the pages. Wavy. Squad 7 Scout, age 35. Considerate and polite to a fault, this Darkson school teacher rarely displays his emotions. I didn't even know that he was a Darkson. I just thought he had really dark hair. Known for his devotion to his wife, he enlisted to protect her and his infant daughter. Though a placid man, he fights ferociously to protect his loved ones. Montley. Squad 7 Scout, age 16. As a child of the Great Plains, he grew up around animals. One encounter with a longhorn stag left him deathly afraid of pointed objects. That's why. Okay. Fully embracing the creed that time is money, he is incapable of sitting still. He is bulked up fast as a result of all the laps he has run around the base. Huh. Good for you, Montley. Noise. Or Noik. Nosh. Notch. Something. Squad 7 Scout, age 19. Like Alicia, he worked as a team captain in the Brule Town Watch. His hobbies include writing and performing songs. Huh. Nancy. Squad 7 Scout, age 15. Her life on the family farm led her to grow up rather sheltered. She often enjoyed holing up in the stables with the animals. Cute. Ramona. Squad 7 Scout, age 18. Formerly a model for the popular Gallian Girl magazine, she lives her life devoted to fashion. Susie. Squad 7 Scout, age 19. As the daughter of a frontier tycoon, she knew precious little of the ways of the world, once naively paying 25 DCT for a single apple. Aww. Poor thing. Taken advantage of. Why is her hair clipping through her own outfit? Frisia? Something. Squad 7 Scout, age 18, called Dancer of the Sand. She roamed the desert as an entertainer until the Empire's attack killed business, driving her to enlist. Juno. Squad 7 Scout, age 22, a classmate of Welkin's at university. Okay, so she has a little bit of history. Cool. She possesses both brains and beauty in spades, making her the object of many a boy's desire. Cherry. Scout Squad 7 Scout, age 16, trends in pretty boys from the center of the world with Galleon Girl Weekly, her preferred fix for top-notch photos of both. Aika, Squad 7 Scout, age 17, childhood friend and co-conspirator with Vice. Oh my god, that explains the goggles for her and Vice. They're both flight. Yeah, that makes so much sense now. She came with him from a far-off land, half for adventure and half to keep him in line. Adversity only makes her stronger as she turns any problem into resolution. The only two things that can stop this vibrant girl are ghosts and roaches. Huh. Han, Squad 7 Lancer, age 27, muscles send him to the moon, whether this be his own or those of other gents in the squad. His little sneezes are just adorable. A mother hen by nature, he worked as a babysitter before enlisting. Since then, he's busied himself preparing meals and baking treats for his crush Largo. I love Han. I really do. That's so cute. Nils, Squad 7 Lancer, age 29, a denizen of the capital city's seedy underbelly. He was a solitary life. He remained undefeated through countless turf wars. Burly, rugged, and stoic, he has had more than a few ladies approach him, but none have yet managed to sway him from his lone wolf ways. Theold Boar? Something. Squad 7 Lancer, age 18, an impoverished childhood has driven home an importance of wealth for him, driving him to seek fame and fortune as a war hero. Okay. Not to, like, talk about anime and be like a weeb or anything, but if anybody recognizes this haircut, I know it's, like, on a whole bunch of other characters, but the one that I most recognize this haircut with is, shoot, I can't think of his name, but one of the main characters of Yu Yu Hakusho. Walter, Squad 7 Lancer, age 33. Contrary to his gruff looks, his hobbies include cooking and tending to his garden. He often joins Alicia in baking bread on his days off. Prone to wild mood swings, his self-confidence can come and go at a moment's notice. Because cooking helps calm him, he hopes to open a restaurant one day. Huh. So he must be bipolar. Hector, Squad 7 Lancer, age 25, the former head of the local war in his home village. He showed a natural leadership that won the respect of all his soldiers. Cool. Rosina, Squad 7 Lancer, age 24. I do not know why this would focus here. A sort of older sister figure of many sevens. Too many sevens. Her teammates affectionately call her Lady Rose. She enjoys working out when off duty. Huh. Yoko. Same sort of ordeal and position. Squad 7 Lancer, age 37. She ran a well-loved Rangrease eatery until donating all the food to her larder to refugees one day and joining the militia. Elise, Squad 7 Lancer, age 17. She was raised by her father, a fencing instructor to nobility, who recommended she enlist as a way to harden her psyche. Herbert, Squad 7 Engineer, age 18, born in an arid region where the weather dictates one's day. He grew to avoid any energy expenditures he possibly could. Utterly capricious, he refuses to lift a finger when unmotivated. He began riding horseback to save himself the effort of walking, and has become quite skilled. Nice. Carl, Squad 7 Engineer, age 23, who worked at 1,000 ironworks until the incursion of Imperial Darkson hunters drove him to evacuate the capital. Meek to the point of being paralyzed in the face of danger, he nevertheless chose to join the militia in hopes of a peaceful future with his lover. Huh. Homer. Squad 7 engineer, age 15. Wow! So Homer, I think, is the youngest. A sensitive soul dwells within the angelic exterior of this young boy who volunteered for service despite his frail constitution. Pain and misfortune yield blissful joy for the twisted cherub? Something. A trait that likely explains his choice to join the war effort. Wow. Dallas. Squad 7 engineer, age 15, so she's just as young. Huh. As the product of a girls' school for the well-off, she dreams of a life surrounded by flowers and shuns the unrefined company of men. Huh. So she doesn't like men. Well, she doesn't like men being men. Ramsey. Squad 7 engineer, age 21. Her love for tinkering with machines saw her enroll in a technical university. There she began work on developing new weapons. Nadine. Squad 7 engineer, age 25. A Darkson with strong sense of responsibility and the wherewithal to fulfill it. She holds a master's degree in literature. Cool. Claudia. Squad 7 engineer, age 19. Her life as a homebody ended with a stray tank shell demolished her house. Wow. She now fights to win back that peaceful existence. Oscar. Squad 7 sniper, age 15. He's just as young. Wow. He enlisted in order to keep his sickly younger brother safe. The scar on his forehead tells of a childhood attempt to do the same. The scar on his forehead tells of a childhood attempt to do the same. So, his younger brother harmed himself? And Oscar tried to do the same. Huh. Cesare. Squad 7 sniper, age 23. Always looking out for number 1. He elected to become a sniper in order to keep himself safely removed from the front lines. His home is a small village in Barrios. Barrios, I forget how to pronounce it. Don't really care. Out of pure boredom, he once tried to scale some nearby ruins as a child and fell. He has feared heights ever since. Marina. Squad 7 sniper, age 24. An aloof beauty, she keeps all the others at a distance. Her father, a skilled hunter, trained her in the art of marksmanship from childhood. Catherine. Squad 7 sniper, age 35. An East European First War veteran. She didn't hesitate to enlist again to fight for her people. She holds the bond of friendship above all else. Medic. Yeah. See, like, this is the one person I kind of wanted to know about, because you rarely know about her. Squad 7 medic, age 17, responsible for securing and treating Squad 7's wounded. She is well loved for her gentle touch and selfless dedication. And the only position that they have her in is the one where she's running out. Maximilian, general, age 29. Wow. To be that young and a general. Imperial Prince and commander of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Ugh, I read that like I was 4. Said to grant opportunities to talented subordinates regardless of social rank, he is also known to ruthlessly dispose of anyone useless to his purposes. I liked the first part, did not like the second part. Salvaria. Brigadier General, age 22. Member of the Triumvirate under the Maximilian's direct command and leader of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Undefeated since she began work as one of Maximilian's commanders, her forays into the nations around the Empire have struck with the force of a tidal wave. And she's got a few outfits to change into, I guess. Okay, just the two. Did Maximilian have one? No, just her. General Jaeger. Major General age 36. Whoops, let me reset that. Major General, age 36, member of the Triumvirate under the Maximilian's direct command as leader of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Previously a general for his homeland, the King of Firald, until it was lost in the Imperial invasion in the East European War, to which he himself also fell prisoner. Interesting. General Gregor, jeez. Major General age 51, member of the Triumvirate under Maximilian's direct command, and a leader of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Born into the rank of Count in a family with close ties to the Imperial Court, he worships the Emperor, dedicating his life to uniting Europa under his rule. Oh wait, uniting, dumb fuck. Uniting Europa under his rule. A specialist in shock and awe tactics, he uses superior numbers to annihilate the opposition. His leg was injured by Jaeger during the Firald invasion. An avid equestrian. Oh yeah, I had to sound that out in my head. He frequently went on long rides before his injury. One of the stallions in his manor stables has been called the Empire's finest horse. The conclusion of the battle to liberate Fausen saw the Gallian militia drop the Equus, an Imperial armored train. Oh, yeah, that's right. Into a chasm with Gregor aboard it. Now he's dead, unfortunately. And by unfortunate, I mean that he's, like, it's a life gone. Jean Townshend, diplomat in the Federation's Foreign Ministry, age 45, appointed to lead the diplomatic invasion to Gallia at an uncommonly young age. Cordelia's kidnapping was decided upon in secret by the Federation's High Council and acted by Townshend and a cadre of elite operatives. Oh, excuse me. Oh, his affable demeanor suggested a temperate personality. Reports described him as a perfectionist willing to take any means necessary to achieve his aims. Gotcha. Let's check out the weaponry. Oh well, I may as well just read this shit. Oh, okay, so it's just a single page for each. Okay. The Principality of Gallia, full of nature and rich in Ragnite ore, Gallia borders the Empire to the east and the Federation on its western edge. This small Central European nation is the constitutional monarchy ruled by the House of Randgrees. I don't know why I said it like that. The hereditary sovereigns of Gallia, the first ruling ancestors of the house, revered as the legendary hero of the ancient war of the Valkyria, built a castle on the site of what is now the capital city, Randgrees, establishing it as the seat of Gallian rule. Despite its size of only 38,567 square kilometers and a population of just over 430,000, it boasts a rich and unique culture. The official currency is the ducat. Okay, so that's what that girl was buying 25 ducats of for an apple. And it is characterized by policies of armed neutrality and universal conscription. Gallia's history. The nation was formerly born in the 3rd century, where Castle Randgrees was built and rule over surrounding areas began, and the Empire invaded Gallia at the turn of the 19th century. The king renounced his crown, instead ruling over an autonomous region within the Empire as Archduke. But as democratic movements swept Western Europa, the Archduke harnessed that energy in Gallia to push for freedom from the Empire. resulting in the War of Gallian Independence. Stretched thin between multiple fronts, the empire was unable to maintain its hold, and the small nation rose as the independent Principality of Gallia, declaring neutrality and establishing a system of universal conscription. With the sea, Gallia's topography, with the sea at its north and west and thick forest shielding to the south, Gallia is naturally fortified against invasion, historically allowing it to repel even significantly larger foes. Hilly plains over 60% of the nation's land, and the mountains contain a rich store of ragnite ore, a valued source of energy. Large cities dot the flatlands to the north, while the rest is largely occupied by lush farmland. Gallia enjoys a temperate, oceanic climate with little variation in rain levels throughout the year, and the soil is highly fertile. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it, because growing conditions for livestock and grain are equally favorable. Gallia practices a mixed form of agriculture. This small town lies in the imperial border at the eastern edge of Gallia. Windmills stand atop the crests of many of the region's... This small town lies on the imperial border at the eastern edge of Gallia. Windmills stand atop the crests of many of the region's rolling hills, but few are as large as the so-called sister mills, built from an old castle tower in the heart of town. Because it radiates out of the mill, Brule is also known as Miller's Home. The town supposedly began as a hideout for the Royal Guard soldiers who revolted against the king. Perhaps an echo of that, this town is just under 8,000 nonetheless. It has an active town watch, and Brulers are famed for taking pride in guarding their homes themselves. Exports include dairy and bread made from the locally grown wheat. The capital city, Randgries, the capital of Gallia since its days as a monarchy. The ancient city has the longest history of any in Europa. The city makes its name from the ancient war hero who founded it and began rule over the surrounding area, the ancestor of today's House Randgries, surrounded by castle walls stretching 1 kilometer in diameter. It's pretty big. The entire city stands as a citadel and contains the seat of Gallia's politics, economy, and culture. I hate the word economy and economic because until you get to the last letter of economy, you don't know if it says economic. Castle Randgries, home of the Archduke, marks the iconic heart of the capital. Its single magnificent tower has been likened by the unicorn's horn, giving rise to the national crest and that bears the likeness of the mythical beast. Military headquarters, the Gallian Embassy. The Gallian army's central base stands amid a wooded area at the outskirts of the capital, known informally at Fort Armatrian, in honor of Gallian Armatrian, who is responsible for reconstructing Gallia's military and establishing the facility during East European First War. Within its walls lie the army's command room, offices, training grounds, hangars for weapons storage and maintenance, and other military facilities. It also holds living quarters, a mess hall, infirmary, and relaxation lounge for the soldiers themselves. Even R&D work on inventing new weaponry takes place in an on-base facility with mechanics and engineers hard at work there around the clock. The Great Vessel Bridge. This massive iron drawbridge spans the Vassal River, which flows into Lake Graz near the walls of Castle Randgries. The bridge has its origins in the late medieval era, when it was built with 2 towers at either bank as part of a ring of defensive installations around the capital. A 19th century renovation saw it made into a retractable drawbridge with a unique accordion fold design that allowed it to be operated by extending and retracting a single pair of cables. The city of Vassal grew out from there, either side of the bridge, prosperous in its role as a transit gateway between the Gallian capital and the outside world due to its key position on both ground routes and a series of canals connecting it to the North Sea. The Cloden Wildwood. This expansive primeval forest stretches across Gallia's south, forming a natural border with the Empire. Poor roads, violent peaks and valleys, and extremely dense vegetation combine to impede travelers while baffling their natural sense of direction. Thought to be impenetrable except by foot, Cloden has been a living fortification against invasion since Gallia's inception. The woods are home to foxes, squirrels, and rabbits, as well as larger animals like deer and boar, and rarities such as the Parcavian. Beaches from the majority of this deciduous forest, also rich in elm and oak, untouched by human hands. Some of the Cloden's trees are thought to be over 1,000 years old. Nice. The citadel at Girlandjal. Massive and stalwart, the fortress sits at the Gallian imperial border. Built in the Middle Ages as a castle along a key route linking Gallia to Eastern Europa, it now stands as a modern fortress. Following East European First War, it served as a checkpoint, controlling the flow of people and goods into and out of Gallia. As the onset of the Second European War, Imperial forces claimed it for use by Commander Maximilian and his Topocleon. I can sometimes, I struggle with that sometimes, like forming the word in my head when it's abbreviated, not abbreviated, hyphenated. Officers at a base of operations for the ensuing large-scale invasion. After claiming the citadel, the Empire outfitted its facade with the powerful fixed cannons and began to use the structure as a storehouse for weaponry to be used in the Gallian incursion. The Boreas Desert. An arid desert devoid of all vegetation covers the eastern Gallian basin areas, several tens of kilometers across. Allegedly scorched as a result of the so-called Darkson calamity, the area has been reduced to huge, uniquely shaped crater with a host of deep crags ensuing out of the massive gulch at the basin center. Thought to be the result of a massive explosion, these fissures in the ground match standing rock formations full of large circular holes. The remnants of humans dwelling dot the eroded landscape, suggesting that this area was once the size of a large city. These days, violent sandstorms assail travelers, and visitors to the region are few. Boreas Ruins Antechamber. Antechamber? Something. The structures found across the Badlands and the Temple of the Crater's Core are collectively called the Boreas Ruins. The main temple is said to have been built by the ancient Valkyria, who was constructed against using giant slabs of Ragnite-rich stone in the architectural style found nowhere else in Gallia. Inside the walls of the antechamber are inscribed with a history of the Darkson calamity and war of the Valkyrie, written in Old Northern script. Decorated with a motif believed to be a representation of the Valkyrie people known as the Valkyrian Spiral, the Grand Hall also holds a door leading into an inner sanctum closed tight to bar the entry of all outsiders. Thousand. As one of the Gallia's richest mining sites, this industrial capital grew hand in hand with the evolution of Ragnite science. The city is divided between upper and lower level along either side of the steep ravine that locals have chiseled away at for decades to recreate the present slope. The city's layout allows for Ragnite ore to be mined, extracted, and sent to manufacturing along a smooth, logical flow. Trolley cars are stationed throughout the area, carry the excavated ore to a refinery where it can be extracted, then sent to one of the several manufacturing plants to be made into weapons. Following the Empire's occupation, the manufacturing processes labor needs were met by Darkson labor camps detainees. Darkson concentration camp. Darkson laborers collected during the Imperial hunts were held in the Thousand prison facility. After capturing Thousand, the Empire was faced with the task of staffing its ore mines, smelting facilities, and arsenals with laborers. Hunting parties were sent to scour Gallia for Darksons that were abducted and used as slave labor. Made to live in a shoddy wooden camp on the ravine floor while working under inhumane conditions. A high-voltage electric fence surrounded the camp's perimeter to prevent escape. The Imperial soldiers kept a close watch on detainees from atop watchtowers built throughout the area. The Marbury Shore. One of the several stretches of open shore north of a 1,000 industrial region, the Empire turned the sheer cliffs that surrounded the broad, hilly center of this inlet into a massive, effective stronghold. Massive cannons and thickly shielded machine gun emplacements lined the rock face, barring all entry, while fortifications carved directly into the cliffside further contributed to making this base utterly unassailable. This bloody beach marks the end of the road for countless Gallian soldiers sent in the many attempts to oust the Empire from the area, each of them failing to breach the base's ironclad defenses. Europa. As a resource-rich part of the largest land mass in the Northern Hemisphere, this land has inspired those of many dreams of domination for millennia. In ancient times, the Valkyria managed to reunite Europa under the rule, giving rise to those of the kingdom. To a number of kingdoms. Don't know why or how I read it like that. Subsequent divisions arose as influential leaders within each of the kingdoms chose to splinter off to form new nations, and it was not long before the first campaigns of conquest began. By the 1800s, the balance of power lay split between the East European Imperial Alliance and the Atlantic Federation, with the small nations in their shadows, left to weather the waves caused by the clash of these two behemoths. East European Imperial Alliance. That's a mouthful. A conglomerate of nations united under the rule of the East European Emperor, commonly referred to as the Empire. The Industrial Revolution that occurred when Ragnite was discovered as a useful energy source saw the nations of Eastern Europa, pioneers in machine technology, rise to power. Already tightly bound by a network of marriages amongst their royalty, these nations now joined hands in a formal international alliance. While not technically an autocracy, the Emperor enjoys limitless authority within the alliance. The Empire retains customs and practices held over from medieval times, and its people are known to harbor conservative views, including a sacred hatred for the Darkson race. Atlantic Federation. The product of the alliance among large collective East European democracies, known informally as the Federation. Popular uprisings spurred on the late 18th century Industrial Revolution gave birth to a number of new democracies. The nascent empire formed to the East reputation a common threat, motivating a mutual defense agreement among these infant republics. Though as elected head counselor acts as a federation chief executive, unanimous agreements are rare among the constituent republics remaining, if often takes months to enact measures. Though a series of secret alliances and gains won by extortion and blackmail put the Federation ahead of the Empire in terms of national power, they have yet to defeat them on the field of war. European Calendar, or EC. This calendar, used across Europa, has at its origin the Valkyria conquest of the continent. For this reason, it is also known as the Valkyrian calendar. Each year is counted in relation to the year the Darkson people were subdued and Europa was united as a continent. Years predating the unification are denoted as BC or before conquest. Interesting. The First European War. Friction between Federation and Empire surrounding Ragnite resources escalated into the Continental War, East European First War, or the First East European One. European War? Yeah, the European War 1. European War 1. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th century led to the skyrocketing demands for Ragnite, pitting Europa's twin giants in a race for resources. When the Crown Prince of the Empire was assassinated at the start of the 20th century, tensions spiraled into all-out war. Though the Imperial force employed a corps of newly developed tanks, hostilities soon became bogged down in fruitless trench warfare, and the two exhausted powers ultimately signed a ceasefire agreement. During the war, Gallia's military, led by General Belgian Gunther's tank corps, foiled an Imperial invasion attempt. Beginning as an Imperial second European War. The Second European War. Beginning as an Imperial incursion into the Federation, East European 2... not East. The European War 2 quickly engulfed the entire continent in what became the largest scale war in Europa's history. Though the European War ended in a stalemate, both powers had spent the intervening wars stockpiling arms and preparing for inevitable return to hostilities. After a short 20-year pause, the Empire began the invasion anew, taking 3 of the Federation's border republics in quick succession. The Federation responded with a formal declaration of war. Reading this, I almost want to say, like, this is supposed to be based off, like, our world wars, but I don't know if, like, these are actual, like, war stories that people, like, went through, but they had to incorporate an anime feel to it. It wasn't long before the forces of both superpowers began to spill across the borders of other neighboring nations. Soon, all of Europa was caught up in a war that dwarfed all those in memory. The War of the Valkyria. The ancient Valkyria united the European continents that after subjugating the Darksons in this half-legendary war of conquest. By circa 30 BC, the Darksons are said to have ravaged much of Europa, wielding the dark arts to harness the destructive potential of Ragnite in their heedless power struggles. Suddenly, an immigrant population known as the Valkyria emerged from the north, bearing a divine power in the form of lances and shields bathed in blue light. Using those to halt the Darkson rampage, they brought peace to Europa, according to inscriptions found in ruins across Europa. In addition to unifying the land under their rule, the Valkyria are credited for the birth of modern Europa culture. The written form of Old Northern, the lingua franca of Europa following its unification under Valkyria rule. It uses a set of characters comprised of vertical, horizontal, and angled strokes. No longer legible to most contemporary Europeans, inscriptions on the monuments discovered across the continent suggest that the script served both as a tool of everyday communication and its rituals. It is shown that the Valkyria royalty and members of the high clergy used a ceremonial variant of the script, though surviving examples are extremely rare. I also didn't say that this was the Old Northern script. The ancient Darksons were also thought to have their own written language, but no material evidence remains today to support that theory. The Valkyria. These immigrants from the north are said to have united the devastated continent under one rule in ancient times. Though believed to be an oceanic tribe that crossed into Europa via the North Sea, much of their historical origin remains unproven by archaeological fact. Their Ragnite weaponry alleged granted them unparalleled power over the Darkson natives, though other accounts suggest that their very bodies exuded a strange blue light that allowed them to perform superhuman feats. Where historical fact ends and legend begins, nothing can say. By the end of the 2nd century after the conquest, interbreeding with a native population is thought to have all but ended the pure Valkyrian bloodline. Darksons, Europa's oldest indigenous race. And they're being treated like shit? The hell? Said to have lived across the continent since ancient times, they are characterized by dark blue black hair and shawls wearing the traditional Darkson pattern. Okay. History tells of a Darkson calamity in which the race devastated the continent until the Valkyria defeated them in the War of the Valkyria. Before their crimes of senseless destruction, the Darksons were stripped of their last names and chased from their jobs and property, and remained the targets of hatred and persecution. Recent use of Darkson labor to mine and smelt ragnite in refinery sites full of pungent oils has given rise to a new set of stereotypes. Despite endless derision and persecution, the Darksons remain a proud race with a rich, unique culture. The Feast of All Spirits. A long-standing tradition in Gallia, this festival is now an official holiday. The spirits of the earth, driven away by the Darkson calamity, were again able to return to Europa after the Valkyrian conquest. This day is said to mark the beginning of their renewed changes of love during the peace that followed. Major practices for celebrating the day include the exchange of gifts between lovers. In the past, presents were given to anyone the giver felt close to, but recent times have seen it become a day for couples to love in love to mimic the spirits and exchanging tokens of their affection. Darkson Good Luck Dolls. Traditionally made by Darkson people as gifts for loved ones, these dolls are thought to protect the bearer from harm and are kept on one's person at all times. The human-shaped dolls made of the thatched fisher grass wear shawls bearing the Darkson pattern. Additional clothing and facial expressions are added using scrap cloth and colored thread. Though the basic doll is of traditional design, makers are free to add their own touches and decorations to make the gift more personal. Universal conscription. One of the Gallia's national precepts states that all citizens are eligible to be drafted into service in times of war, enacted as a way to enforce the position of armed neutrality adopted after Gallia won its independence. The law prescribes a 3-stage draft according to need and applies to men and women alike. Schools of each level offer mandatory military action, and all citizens are required to graduate from middle school. Wait a minute, then how did Rosie get out of it? Meaning all Gallians have basic training in combat skills. Universities double as officer training schools, and graduates are eligible for the rank of lieutenant upon enlistment. The Gallian Empire. Not Empire Army. A standing self-defense force serves to uphold Gallia's position of neutrality. As every citizen receives basic military training, most of Gallia is also guarded by independent watch groups, and defensive preparations are made on a town, neighborhood, and household level. In times of peace, Gallia's army is made up of 80,000 ground units, 10,000 marine units, and 2,000 military police units, in addition to the autonomous town watches found across the nation. When at war, militia is drafted from the civilian public and assembled under the standing force, called the Gallian Army. Officers from the Gallian Army are assigned to lead militia regiments and battalions as necessary. The Imperial Army, led by the Emperor, the Empire's policies are still largely controlled by the aristocracy. The military is no exception. Several of the highest positions held by the Emperor's blood relatives and close affiliates, operating under a code of conduct with roots in the medieval idol of knightly chivalry. Troops are expected to give their all in fidelity to the Emperor. The Imperial Army was the first to make and employ tanks, their replacement for armored cavalry units, a development that refined war in Europa and secured the Empire's military superiority. Gallian National Arsenal. As the nation's only arms manufacturer, the National Arsenal both develops and constructs all of Gallia's weapons. Seeing the production of arms as a part of national defense, leaders elected to end weapons importation and founded a new domestic arsenal during the First European War. This also helped keep weapons technology and plans from leaking to foes. Professor Thamer, creator of the tank that war hero General Gunther operated, was a major player in the Arsenal's initial staff, matched only by Bernard Brondel in skill. Brondel, who rose to lead the Arsenal, is said to have amassed his considerable knowledge through close friends with a number of talented Darkson engineers. Tanks. At the turn of the 20th century, a time when trench combat was a primary form of warfare, these armored vehicles were created to break across defensive lines. Their design employs a Ragnaline fuel combustion engine in which energy is harnessed from the explosive ignition of liquid ragnite. Byproducts include a distinctive blue light and extreme heat, requiring the addition of a radiator at the tank's rear to prevent overheating. Originally used to cross trenches and as foot soldier support, economic and technological advances have seen tanks grow to fill a number of combat roles. After the Empire employed highly mobile attack tanks in the East European War. It's just European War, Jake. All of Europa began to develop new vehicles, leading to the diverse array of models seen today. Gallian tanks. As part of a defensive force, Gallian tank designs favor small, highly mobile units suited to Gallia's topography over heavy tanks focused on firepower. In the First European War, the Gallian force used light tanks and foot soldiers to stop the Empire's invasion rather than squaring off against attack-heavy Imperial tanks. After witnessing the Empire's fearsome armored corps, a group of Gallian engineers led by Professor Thamer came across to develop a new kind of tank that could be mass-produced to check the Imperial force. Thamer proposed the necessity of a line of tanks specialized in offensive power, but Gallian army leaders dismissed his ideas. Consequently, most of Gallia's tanks remained primarily defensive units. Imperial tanks, born in the late 19th century as a means to break the stalemate of trench combat, Europa's first tanks were imperial in the design and manufacture. The Empire's armored corps took to the field shortly after the European War began as a force of extremely powerful, highly mobile tanks, easily tearing apart the Federation's defenses. In the medieval military philosophy of the Empire, the tank represented the new knight and stood at the army's core as it marched across the continent. Unable to stand up to the Empire's tank force directly, neighboring countries were left to develop small ambush tanks, which in turn led Imperial designers to build bigger and tougher juggernauts. In the tank technology race, the Empire has long remained one step ahead. Partially due to Federation tanks, partially due to barren arsenals and a lack of infrastructure in the Federation prior to the East European War. God damn it. The war saw the Empire secure a broad head start in the field of tank technology. To Federation forces centered around foot soldier tactics, the Imperial Armored Corps represented a new and terrifying form of warfare. By the end of the European War, Federation military knew well the necessity for heavy tanks with large cannons, and the development of armored vehicles began in earnest. Unable to rival the Empire in technology or military prowess, they instead chose to exercise their economic superiority, building a force of tanks with middling capabilities large enough to combat the Imperial force by sheer numbers. The accused and the bottomless should be in the other section. Valkyria common knowledge. Legend of the War of the Valkyria and a number of traditions that stem from this ancient people can be found in all areas of Europa, and the basic awareness of the Valkyrie's existence pervades the land as common knowledge. The generally held view of this race is as saviors of the continent who led all of Europa to prosperity, with some going as far as to worship them as divinities. That said, the bloodline is believed to have died out long ago, resulting in thinning of the presence within the popular consciousness. Today, there are many who view them as historical fact than as stuff of legend. Valkyria worship. Some Europans hold the Valkyria as the object of religious worship, known as the possessed superhuman abilities. The Valkyria are understood as either gods or vassals of God in several sects. The largest of them known as the Yggdrasil. Speaking of Yggdrasil, I have a favorite word. Yggdrasil. I love that word. Oh yeah, so this should be Yggdrasil. 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 I love that word. Yggdrasil. The Yggdrasil faith arose of the start of the 3rd century, gradually spread to all regions of Europa. Its tenets hold that the Valkyria were a race of gods, and its mythology draws heavily from the northern legends brought in during their conquest. Because beliefs have traditionally taken the form of popular superstitions tied closely to everyday practices, regional differences abound, blurring the lines between one sect and the next. The lance and shield, unearthed from excavation sites across the continent, these weapons are thought to have been wielded by the Valkyria. The shields are round, and the lances take the shape of a spiral shell. Decent. Made from ragnite, more pure than even current refining technology can produce. While some variation exists among the weapons' shapes, all of them bear its design known as the Valkyrian spiral as a core motif. Because contact with a Valkyria triggers a physical alteration of the weapon's shape, they are believed to serve as amplifiers for the race's preternatural abilities, something. Ragnite. As Europa's primary energy source, this ore has become vital to daily existence. It luminesces a characteristic blue hue and when releasing the energy it contains. Mined primarily in mountainous regions, the rare ore is refined for use in any number of applications. Though the ore's existence was known in ancient times, it is not until the Valkyria brought their refinery technology to Europa that its use began. Since the Industrial Revolution, it has become a vital ingredient to human civilization. A surging need for tank fuel and weaponry derived from the ore has recently driven Europa's nations to expand their borders in a growing war of resources. Uses of ragnite. Depending on the refinery methods used, ragnite ore can produce various forms of energy suited to a spectrum of needs. Refined into a liquid ragnoline, it can gasoline. So ragnoline, yeah, liquid ragnoline. It can fuel lamps or power vehicles, granting it a broad range of civilian uses. Its military applications include tank fuel and incendiary agent in flamethrowers, an explosive payload in hand grenades, and countless others. Medical scientists recently learned that the ore also acts as a painkiller, developing a controlled disinfectant and restorative agent known as ragnade. New proprietary properties and applications for the ore continue to be discovered daily, and few doubt that this resource will only continue to grow in use and value. Lion's Paw, a perennial plant found across Gallia and near and dear to the hearts of many as a sort of informal symbol of the nation. Distinguishing characteristics include small white star-shaped flowers and seed tufts, often carried off by the wind like tiny snowflakes. Its leaves spread close to the ground surface in clusters, with stalks bearing the plant's flowers at their center. As an exceptionally hardy plant, they are known to thrive even under adverse conditions, weathering times of extreme hardship to bloom again the next year. Porcavians, a winged cousin of the common pig found in the wooded areas in Central Europa, generally smaller than the other porcines. This subspecies is further distinguished by the wing-shaped appendages that grow from its back. Because it is incapable of flight, the biological term wing does not strictly apply. Okay. So they can't fly at all. Though some have argued that its wings are an adaptation that makes these pigs better suited for life in their habitat, no convincing explanation of Porcavian evolution has emerged. Affectionate and intelligent, they are sometimes kept as pets. Yeah, like, there's no benefit to having the wings. Alright, and that's the end of the glossary. And the decorations. Gallian Medal of Honor. 1,000 Service Medal of Honor. Lance of Gallia. The Crimson Heart. And Order of the Holy Lance. I could read these, but I've wasted a whole bunch of time already. Yeah, these are actually kind of long. I'll just go through them quick. So if you want, you can pause and read them. And with that, I make it back to the chapter which should have been done a while ago. And unfortunately, this is a very long episode, so I'm not gonna start this one. But I'll get to it in a future video? Probably tomorrow. And I hope my mic sounds a little bit better and isn't, like, staticky like the last time. Oh well. Oof.